There's no better comfort food than fried chicken, and everyone claims they have the best recipe. But let's be honest, nobody fries it up quite like the Colonel. That red and white bucket, the mysterious 11 herbs and spices, and the slogan that practically sells itself,
and it's finger-lickin' good.
It's all part of a brand that sparked an entire industry of fast food. Other chicken joints have popped up since, but none have topped what the Colonel's cooking up. So how does a pressure cooker and some spices turn bland chicken into a taste that can't be replicated? Today, we're going inside the bucket. From original recipe to the new sandwich, we're decoding the full operation powering every piece of KFC's world-famous chicken. Before KFC, fried chicken wasn't something you grabbed on the go. It was a slow, sit-down meal you usually only got at restaurants. That all changed thanks to this man, Harlan Sanders. In 1930, he began selling fried chicken to passers-by out of his gas station in Corbin, Kentucky. His flavorful chicken quickly gained a loyal following among the travelers, but with a 30-minute cook time, it was far too slow to be fast food. To speed things up, he swapped his skillet for a makeshift pressure cooker that reduced the cook time to about 10 minutes.
Well, I bought 8 of those cookers, so I conceived the idea of trying to cook chicken in these pressure cookers. And that was the beginning of my Kentucky Fried Chicken business that I franchised.
Now able to cook twice the birds in half the time, his popular chicken became so successful that he expanded into the Sanders Cafe. He even received the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel from the governor for his celebrated chicken, which led him to adopt the Colonel Sanders persona. As demand grew, the Colonel continued refining his recipe until he developed his secret mix of 11 herbs and spices. That unique blend caught the attention of fellow restaurateur Pete Harmon, who later partnered with Sanders to launch the first official KFC in 1952. Today, they're still using the Colonel's original recipe, and it's one of the most protected secrets in the industry. The full recipe is kept under lock and key at KFC's headquarters in Louisville. And it's so top secret, KFC splits its production between 2 different companies, McCormick and Griffith Laboratories. Each only makes half the spice mixture. Then it's shipped to a separate facility for final blending before distribution to restaurants. Ready to see how KFC is still frying it up the same way the Colonel did? Let's visit one of their kitchens for a front row seat. But before the frying starts, let's trace it all the way back to the beginning, back at the farm where their chicks are raised. KFC sources its chicken from major U.S. poultry suppliers like Tyson Foods, Pilgrim's Pride, and other well-established producers capable of supplying their massive demand. The chicks begin life at the hatchery, before being moved to specialized barns designed to raise meat birds, also called broilers. Broiler chicks are bred and raised specifically to maximize flesh development in minimal time. These operations are climate-controlled environments with fresh bedding, automatic feeding systems, and clean water access. They also have adequate space to roam around, allowing their legs to grow strong and healthy. The chicks are fed a balanced cereal grain mix made with corn and soy and high-protein byproducts that fuels their growth, allowing them to reach market weight within about 6 weeks. And since U.S. law prohibits hormone and steroid use in poultry, none are included in their feed. As the chickens reach their target weight, usually around 6 to 7 pounds, they're collected by this live harvester machine. They try to do this in the darkness, as this approach keeps the chickens relaxed. The device gently scoops up the birds and places them into plastic crates. After this, they're transported to the processing plant, which is usually located nearby, which serves to reduce stress to the birds and maintain a more tender meat quality. When the truck arrives at the plant, the entire modules of crates are transferred onto a conveyor system that moves it inside the building. The receiving area is usually lit with dim or blue lighting, which helps keep the birds calm because they perceive it as darkness. After this point, every poultry processor must follow strict guidelines set by the U.S. Department of Agriculture for the stunning and processing. While this area is often out of sight, rest assured, the facilities carry it out in a way that is both humane and respectful. The modules continue down the conveyor and into this CO2 chamber called slow induction anesthesia. This gradual and humane method puts the birds into a deep, unconscious state so they don't feel any pain during the subsequent steps. Now the birds are fully unconscious, workers place them upside down into shackles attached to an overhead line. They pass by a sharp blade that cuts the main neck artery, then are allowed several minutes to completely drain out. Then they're dipped into this 136-degree water scalder, which softens the skin for easier feather removal. The feather plucking machine, fitted with rotating flexible rubber fingers, methodically rubs away every feather from the softened skin. The 2 feet are removed by this spinning blade. Then robotic scoops pull out the internal organs, like the liver, heart, and gizzard. These cropping machines drill downward into the body cavities, removing the trachea and esophagus. With the insides cleared out, the birds head immediately into the chilling area. This step is mandatory to stay compliant with the USDA food safety regulations to prevent dangerous bacteria from developing. While some plants use chlorinated water baths, this facility uses air chilling maintained at about 38 degrees Fahrenheit, which helps lock in the chicken's natural moisture and flavor. Chilling also firms up the meat, so the blades can make cleaner, more accurate cuts during portioning. Now fully chilled, the whole birds move through the portioning line. The wings are cut first, followed by the breast and the backs. Then a final set of blades separates the legs at the hip joint and trims the thighs from the drumsticks. To prep the fillets for KFC's boneless chicken sandwiches, the whole breasts pass through this machine that removes the skins. Then through a wishbone remover and fillet decapper, before a set of blades completely separates and divides them into 2 boneless, skinless fillets. After portioning, the chicken cuts and fillets are sealed in plastic, arranged in these trays, then stored at this 40,000 square foot refrigerated warehouse. Inside, there's a dedicated chiller room where the chicken is held for no more than 3 days to preserve its freshness. Workers then prepare shipments bound for KFC locations. Once the trays are sorted and packed, they're loaded for delivery. And with America's insatiable appetite for the original recipe, this facility can move out over 2 million chickens to restaurants every week. Now that the chicken has reached the restaurant, we'll get an insider's look at how a fresh batch is fried up, just like the Colonel used to do. The original recipe breading starts with flour, then salt, dried milk, and egg powder. And of course, the secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. A staffer hand-folds it 20 times before sending it through the mechanical mixer underneath. Once blended, the seasoned flour goes back into its bin. From the fridge, they take an 8-piece mix of wings, breasts, legs, and thighs, and load them into a metal basket. The chicken gets dipped in a water bath so the flour sticks evenly across every piece. They shake the basket 7 times, letting the water drain, then drop the chicken into the seasoned flour. Once in the flour, each piece is coated with 7 scoop and folds, followed by 7 lift and folds. This technique is required at every KFC kitchen to guarantee their chicken looks the same, regardless of the location. After it's fully coated, the chicken goes into a rocker basket, followed by another 7 shakes to remove the excess flour. Now they're all coated up, they arrange each one onto a frying rack before loading it into this pressure fryer. They push the lid down, lock it in place, and in about 10 minutes, we'll have a hot batch of original recipe. As the oil inside reaches 375 degrees, the pressure builds, trapping in the steam and flavors that would typically escape in a conventional open fryer. What comes out is tender, juicy chicken, wrapped in a crispy seasoned breading. And it's all done in half the time. This advanced fryer is a modern design of the old contraption Colonel Sanders modified back in the 1940s, when he turned a basic pressure cooker into a new way to fry chicken. And it's been a KFC trademark ever since. For their new boneless chicken sandwich, the process follows a similar routine to the original recipe. The skinless fillets start with a water dip, then are coated in the seasoned flour using KFC's protocol of 7 scoop and folds, followed by 7 lift and folds. But this time, they're dipped again in water, then returned to the flour for that thicker, extra crispy coating. After pressure frying, the hot fillet is placed on a toasted brioche bun, then finished with mayo and pickles. To keep the chicken fresh after frying without it drying out, KFC uses this machine called a hot holding unit. It's primarily designed for bone-in chicken, and it works by heating water contained within the machine that produces steam, which circulates upwards, keeping the chicken at a warm 165 degrees Fahrenheit while retaining its moisture. The chicken can remain in the holding unit for up to 90 minutes max. Beyond this, any unsold pieces are discarded and replaced with a fresh batch. After placing your order, the hot chicken goes from the holding unit straight into KFC's signature red and white bucket. The paper-based design pulls steam away from the chicken, so the breading stays crisp, and the vented lid traps just enough heat to keep everything warm. This striped bucket has become one of the most recognizable branding symbols in fast food history. The idea first came from Sanders' business partner, Pete Harmon, who launched it in 1957. Harmon also named it Kentucky Fried Chicken and gave us their famous slogan, "It's finger-lickin' good." What began with a single pressure cooker and 11 herbs and spices didn't just build a chicken empire, it changed how the world eats chicken. And the entire industry, from Chick-Fil-A to Popeyes and many more, likely wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the pioneering efforts and perseverance of the Colonel. Thanks for watching Made Vision. We'll see you next time.